Welcome to Media Gumbo. Today, we're counting down our top 10 most obscure-to-find movies on Netflix. With more than thousands of titles to choose from, deciding on what to watch can be difficult. Outside of the heavily promoted titles you see every day, we've decided to give you some hidden gems on Netflix you probably didn't know was there. For this list, we'll be counting down our top 10 hidden gems with movies that have been released with a 7+ ratings on IMDb, on Netflix the day this video is uploaded, and currently not being heavily marketed. Also, make sure you subscribe as we'll be unveiling more top 10 videos on other streaming platforms, upcoming movie titles, and music videos weekly. Number 10, Prisoners. A small-town carpenter turns vigilante in order to rescue his abducted daughter and her best friend in this thriller starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. A 6-year-old and her friend Joy have vanished without a trace. Devastated, the 6-year-old's father makes note of a rundown RV that's been parked on their street at the exact same time the girls went missing. When the driver is swiftly arrested, it starts to look like the lead will pay off. The driver, however, is quickly released due to a lack of evidence, sending the father into a frenzy as he realizes that if his daughter isn't found soon, odds are she never will be. Knowing that time is not on his side, and ignoring law enforcement's plea to leave the case to the pros, the father risks sacrificing his own freedom in a bid to locate the girls before it's too late. Prisoners also stars Terrence Howard and Viola Davis. Number 9, Queen. Queen, starring Ken Ganaranat, plays an underconfident young woman named Ronnie from Delhi in this Bollywood comedy. 2 days prior to her wedding, her fiancé tells her that he no longer wishes to marry her. Wanting to take control of the situation, she goes alone on her pre-booked honeymoon to Paris and Amsterdam. Overwhelmed by traveling and having gotten into trouble twice, once with the local police and once with a robber, Ronnie intends to return to India. However, a new friend gives her a new lease on life through an adventure that allows her to gain confidence again. She learns more about her friends' backgrounds and begins to understand how different life can be for people in other parts of the world. Number 8, The Foreigner. Kwan is a humble London businessman whose long-buried past erupts in a revenge-filled vendetta when the only person left for him to love, his teenage daughter, dies in a senseless act of political-motivated terrorism. His relentless search to find the terrorist leads to a cat-and-mouse conflict with a British government official whose own past may hold the clues to the identities of the elusive killers. Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan face off in this action-packed political thriller. If you're into many twists and turns in your thrillers, this movie is for you. Number 7, Leave No Trace. Years have passed as a teenage daughter and her veteran father that lives with PTSD have lived unnoticed in the woods of Forest Park. Due to a chance encounter, they're found, removed from the park, and placed under the supervision of a social services organization. They make an effort to settle in, but an unexpected choice sends them on a risky journey into the woods in search of total independence. This forces them to confront their conflicting needs to live apart and be part of a community. Ben Foster and Thomas McKenzie star in this runner drama based on a true story. Number 6, Up in the Air. Up in the Air is a comedy that tells the story of Ryan Bingham, played by George Clooney, who makes his living laying off people in companies when they're downsizing. And since business is booming, his job keeps him on the go constantly. Although his lifestyle prevents him from having any type of stable, regular life, it doesn't get to him one bit. That's until a fast-rising up-and-newcomer named Natalie Keener, played by Anna Kendrick, wants to change the company's practices by having the staff fire people remotely via webcams. Irate at the thought of losing a lifestyle he's grown accustomed to, he convinces his boss, played by Jason Bateman, to let him take the newcomer on a few trips so that she can learn what it's really like to fire someone. Up in the Air also stars Danny McBride and J.K. Simmons. Number 5, Official Secrets. British Secret Service officer Catherine Gunn, played by Keira Knightley, risks her life to stop the 2003 invasion of Iraq by becoming a whistleblower. She decides to leak a top-secret memo outlining a plan between the U.S. and the U.K. to blackmail smaller swing vote members of the United Nations Security Council into voting for war. Gunn finds herself in over her head when the British government comes after her and her Muslim husband, played by Adam Bakri. This movie is based on the book The Spy Who Tried to Stop a War by Marcia and Thomas Mitchell. This thriller drama also stars Ralph Fiennes and Matthew Goode. Number 4, Summerland. This drama is a movie about a woman named Alice, played by Gemma Arterton. She is a writer living alone in southern England while a war rages across the channel. When she opens her front door one day, she adopts a young London evacuee named Frank, played by Toby Osmond. It's not long, however, before the two realize they have more in common in their past than Alice had assumed. Gugu Mbatha Raw and Tom Courtenay star in this intensely emotional story of love's endurance in trying times. Number 3, The Swimmers. The Swimmers is the story of two young sisters, Yusra and Sarah Mardini, played by Manal and Natalie Issa. The film tells of the destruction of their home and the decision to leave Syria. During their flight, the boat they're on takes on water. The sisters have to push it to shore, saving the other refugees. Later, one of the sisters is invited to join a refugee Olympics team formed in Germany, where she competes as a swimmer. This is a drama about making it against all odds. This movie also stars James Floyd and Ali Sullivan. Number 2, St. Vincent. This comedy, St. Vincent, stars Bill Murray as a crusty old man named Vincent who ends up caring for the son of his neighbor, Maggie, played by Melissa McCarthy. Although he's a pessimistic old man who gambles, drinks, and loves the strip clubs, Vincent turns out to be exactly the mentor the 12-year-old kid needs. If you're in need of a funny pick-me-up about unlikely friendships, this is the movie for you. This movie also stars Naomi Watts and Chris O'Dowd. Number 1, The Darkest Hour. This historical drama focuses on the trials of Winston Churchill, played by Gary Oldman, days after he becomes the Prime Minister of the UK. With Nazi armies rolling through Europe, Churchill must figure out how to rally the nation to action, while many of his contemporaries advocate peace talks with Nazi Germany. As Nazi forces roll across Western Europe and the threat of invasion is imminent, as well as his own party planning against him, Churchill must withstand his darkest hour, rally a nation, and change the course of world history. This historical drama also stars Kristen Scott Thomas and Lily James. Have you seen any of the movies mentioned here today? If so, leave a comment. Also, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of more top hidden gems, more movies, and more music video ratings weekly.